Hey everyone, this is a guitar tutorial for There Is One Gospel by CityAlight. Before we begin, please consider subscribing to my channel or give this video a like and comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. Additionally, if you're interested in any of the gear that you see today, there are links in the description below. Alright, grab your acoustic guitar and a capo and let's get started. Alright, so you'll notice my capo is on the 4th fret. We're going to be playing in the key of G to match the original key, which is B. And you'll need to know the following chords: G, C, D, E minor, G over B, A minor, and I believe that is it. Now there are two different ways to play D. We'll break that down in just a second. Let's start with the home chord, which is G. Put your middle finger on the low E string, 3rd fret, relative to the capo, which is really the 7th fret of your guitar. Put your index finger on the A string, 2nd fret, and then pinky and ring finger are covering the high E and B strings of the 3rd fret. For that, you get to strum everything. For G over B, keep the same formation for your fingers, just lift off on the middle finger, and now you just have your index finger, ring finger, and pinky remaining in the same position. Just don't strum the low E string. You're going to emphasize the A string now. Alright, for the C chord, you kind of keep things relatively the same, but put your middle finger down on the A string now, and your index finger goes on the D string for the 3rd fret and 2nd fret respectively for those fingers. You don't strum the low E, just like the G over B. So that's the C chord. Technically, it's a C2. For the D chord, this is where it gets kind of dicey because you can do it the regular way and you can do it the special way. The special way will be used in the first verse and I believe the first chorus. So for the regular way, put your index finger on the G string, 2nd fret, middle finger high E, 2nd fret also, ring finger B string, 3rd fret, and you get to strum the D string on down. Avoid strumming the bottom 2 strings. But for the special way, put your ring finger on the 5th fret relative to the capo, which is your 9th fret of the guitar, and then middle finger goes on the D string, 4th fret. And when you're going to use this formation, I believe they're finger picking. So you're going to focus on the A, D, and G strings, and this is what it sounds like. And I'll go over the picking pattern in a moment, but it's going to sound something like this. Then technically that is a major 7th chord, which really, since it's in that position, is a F sharp in real life. If you put your tuner up to your guitar, you would read an F sharp. All right, for the last few chords, E minor, put your index finger and middle finger on the A and D strings of the 2nd fret. You could also put your B and high E strings down once again on the 3rd fret, and it would sound like this. You get to strum everything for that. For the A minor chord, I use an A minor 7. You can use a regular A minor, but A minor 7 is a little easier. Put your index finger on the B string, 1st fret, and then middle finger, D string, 2nd fret. Avoid strumming the low E, and that's an A minor 7. All right, so for the beginning of the song, there really isn't any acoustic until the singing starts. So you want to wait until your vocalist comes in. Don't worry, we're going to go over the picking pattern after we play through the song. I'll break down strumming pattern as well. The chords move quickly in this one, so just be on your toes and don't worry, we'll get through it. So get ready. Here we go. G, C, E minor, C, G, C, E minor, C, G, C, G, D, G over B, C, D, G, C, G, C, G, E minor, D, G, A minor, G, G over B, C, D, G, C, G, C, G, E minor, D, G, E minor, G over B, C, G, D, G, G over B, C, G, C, G, E minor, D, G, A minor, G over B, C, G, D, G, A minor, G over B, C, G, D, E minor, C, G, D, G, C, E minor, C, G. Well, everyone, I hope that I was able to help you out with that tutorial. So let's talk about that picking pattern that starts the song. And honestly, I can't really tell if he's picking with a pick or if he's finger picking, but I chose to finger pick because once you find a pattern that works for you, honestly, you could stick with that and roll with it for that remainder of the time that it's used in the song. So really just the first part, and once that chorus is done, then you start with the pick and there's no excuses after that. So I'll show you my version of this. It's pretty close to the recording. Here's G. All right, so what am I actually plucking there, right? So my thumb is covering the bass note of each chord. And for that first one is really just G. And because I'm focusing on the lower strings, I'm not fingering the entire chord with my left hand. I'm actually just focusing on the E, A, D, and G strings. And that G is kind of finishing up the picking phrase, if you want to call it. So I'm going to do that a little slower. Here's G, C, G again, and D. Now really slow, and try to explain what my right hand is doing. It's hard to do that and play at the same time. So G once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to try to break that down even more. My thumb is going to start on the downbeat, and my middle finger is plucking the D string, and my thumb moves down to the A, and then my middle finger plucks the G. And that is the picking pattern. Now to do that in 6/8 time, I'm actually doing low E, D, A, G, and then low E, and then D again. And that is the picking pattern for pretty much everything. Well, of course, when you switch to the A and D strings for that C and D chord, I'm just going to focus on the A, D, and G strings, of course. There was no B string in there. My thumb has to start on A. So for the C and D chords, it's going to go A, D, A, G, D. And I'm sorry I can't break it down any further, but I'm sure some of you guys can come up with something better or something that's closer to the recording. For the strumming pattern, just a typical 6/8 pattern that I'm doing here. Let's start on the chorus. G, C, E minor, and D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty simple, a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just notice I'm accenting on the 1 and the 4. Well, that about does it for this tutorial, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. And again, thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great week. God bless.